everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me May or MG if you would like, and today's video is me showing you guys what I think my characters' favorite books would be, characters being from my novel Revelry in the Dark, a dark academia mystery, and so many of the characters are very well read and love reading, so this was a very fun exercise for me to just think about them a little bit more. I gave myself the extra challenge of specifically picking books from my own collection, and let me tell you, my reading taste does not quite align with all of my characters, so it was a bit of a challenge, but I am very happy with the books that I picked out for my characters, so let's just start talking about them. So first up, we have my protagonist, Georgie, and her favorite book is 100% Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. She loves the dark and moody atmosphere. Gothic literature is her favorite. It's explicitly stated in the book, and I feel like she would love how this is romantic in both the uppercase and lowercase r sense. Though now that I'm thinking about this, this might have come out a little bit too early to really be capital R romantic, but I still think it fits. So this was very easy for me to figure out. Next we have Noemi, who is an exchange student from Italy, and for her I have chosen Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Mateer. This is a poetry collection, and it's got like art in there. I can find something for you. So like nice art pieces scattered throughout. It's inspired by the Greek goddess Aphrodite. It's got an emphasis on healing and self-love, and it just really fits Noemi's vibes. The next character is Aura, and for her I have chosen the book Delicious Monsters by Lizelle Sambury, and I think Aura would love this book because it's got an emphasis on plants, which Aura loves plants. She's a scientific illustration major and really loves drawing out the technical diagrams of plants. It's one of her favorite things. It's also a little bit spooky and kind of gross at times without completely overdoing it, and I just think she would really enjoy this book. For River, the obvious book choice was All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. It just has all of their favorite things. It's got tarot cards and magic, it's got queer characters, it's got a cult. I think River would just eat this up. The next character I want to talk about is Ollie, and Ollie was a bit of a challenge. I don't really see him as a major reader. He does read sometimes, but it's not really a main hobby of his, and he's more subdued than his friends. He's very quiet, and I have chosen the book Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and I can see this being a childhood favorite of his, and it's just something that has a spot in his heart as he's grown up, and even if he doesn't read it very often, it's still something that he loves. Next up we have Vincent, and I think Vincent's favorite book would be The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, and it's got a bit of a fantastical element, but it's not high fantasy, and it's something that really would get him thinking. Vincent is very calculating and he loves figuring things out, and I feel like something like this where there's a mystery to be solved would be something he would really love. Then we have Clara, and for Clara I have decided her favorite book is A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Yes, it's technically a play, it's still a book, and she's definitely a fan of the classics, and I'm a little bit biased because this is my favorite Shakespeare, so I'm kind of projecting a little bit that it would be her favorite as well, but I have this, I don't know if it's a headcanon because these are my characters, so what I say about them is canon, but this idea that this is the first play that Clara was ever in, and for that reason it's got a special place in her heart. Next up we have Lourdes, and for her I have chosen The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas, and it's something that has action and adventure, and it doesn't really go too deep into dark topics, but it's a very fun read, and it just felt like something Lourdes would love. Then we have Ailani, and I think her favorite book would be The Mirror Season by Anne-Marie McLemore, and like Vincent, I think she would want something that has a bit of a fantastical element, but not something too fantasy-esque, and she would really want something that's sad and beautiful at the same time, which this book definitely is. Then the last of the students that I'm going to mention is Damien, and I have picked out American Gods by Neil Gaiman for him. It's something really chunky, something he can sink his teeth into. It draws on history and mythology, but it creates something new and strange, and I just really think this is the book for him. Then we have two professors that I want to talk about, the first of which is Professor Rhodes. She teaches anthropology and history, and for her I have chosen The Color Purple by Alice Walker, and I don't really see her as being into fantasy and sci-fi and that sort of thing, but I do think she would want something that's deep and heartbreaking, and nothing fits the bill more than The Color Purple in my opinion. And finally, we come to the one and only Professor Decker, and he teaches English and theater courses, and I have given him Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It's a dark novel that grapples with the topic of humanity versus monstrosity. It's something that sparks discussion despite being so old. Like, to this day, people are still having opinions about this, and it's also the kind of thing that it's a good book, but it still feels a little bit pretentious when you say that it's your favorite novel of all time, and I feel like that's Professor Decker. Overall, I feel like these books fit my characters super well. If they sound like the kind of characters you want to read about, maybe check out my book when it comes out. It is coming soon, and that's very nerve-wracking, but also I'm very excited for it to be out in the world. And that's all for me today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.